Okay, good. And then I'll go ahead and post this up after class, okay? All right, so you've got this question number 1. You can hear me all right, right? Okay. This question number 1, assume that Hydro Slides Inc. issued 2,000 shares, $1 par value common stock at $5 per share. As a result of this issue, Hydro's liabilities would increase what? 0. There's absolutely no impact to liabilities, right? For the issuance of stock. Okay, using the same questions, assets would increase. And I've gave this question live in a class, and it was like everybody fell apart on this question. And I'm like, why? We are going to issue it for what? $5 a share times what? 2,000 shares. That gives me $10,000 cash, right? I debit cash for 10,000. Okay. I credit the common stock for what? For the $1 per share times the what? Times the 2,000. How come that class has been so happy also? Okay, so 2,000, I credit common stock for 2,000. And then I simply credit APIC for what? For the difference. That's going to be the $4 times the 2,000 shares is 8,000, or just to make the journal entry balance. Okay. Okay, good. Assume that NOMAR, and NOMAR kind of rhymes with no par, that NOMAR issued 2,000 shares, $5 par value, $5 stated value, no par value common stock at $8 per share. As a result of this transaction, stockholders' equity would increase. And so what happens? Well, it's what? It's going to be cash coming in at the $8 per share right here times the what? Times the issue price, the 16,000. Okay. Then what? Then I have to go ahead and credit my common stock at the, even though it was no par, I still credit the common stock at the stated value, don't I, for 10,000? And then the difference between 8 minus 5, that's $3 left per share times the 2,000, that goes into APIC, right? Easy enough. Where everybody falls apart on this question is they can't get the answer for stockholders' equity. Stockholders' equity is made up of what? Common stock, retained earnings, and additional paid-in capital, isn't it? And what happens? The additional retained earnings is never affected by stock transaction, and it doesn't matter. We're going to sit here and what? Have the common stock and the increase in the APIC that's going to affect my stockholders' equity increase 16,000. Right? Okay. Okay, good. Oops. I thought I got rid of this one. This one we're not studying statement of cash flows. I did leave number 6 and number 7 because I forgot I want to show you something from chapter 13 that will be on the test, and it's real easy and it's going to take 2 seconds for us to understand it. So I am going to add some chapter 13 stuff. It's real easy though. Let's look at number 10 though. Rainier Company is authorized to issue 10,000 shares of its 8% $100 par value preferred stock and 500,000 shares of no par common stock with a stated value of $1 per share. If Rainier issued 5,000 shares of preferred stock for land with an asking price of $600,000 and a market value of $540, which of the following would be the journal entry? Now we're going to go by what? They tell us the market value for the land, don't they? Okay. So we're going to have what? We're going to have a debit to land for the 540. And notice, guys, that the preferred stock works the same way in that what? You pick up the par value, 100,000 shares times what? It issued, it was $100 per share. And it issued how many shares? 5,000 shares. So 100 times 5,000 shares is where they're getting the 500,000. Then instead of being credited to common stock, it's credited to what? Preferred stock. And then the amount in excess of par that we got here on this deal was what? The land was 540. The par value of the preferred stock was 500,000. So additional paid in capital in excess of preferred stock now is what? Par value is 50,000. I mean, excuse me, 40,000. Okay. Okay, we'll come back to these couple questions. These are pretty easy. I do want to go show you something from chapter 13, but it's a piece of cake. I just forgot to do it right now, but we'll come back to these. Which of the following, number, whatever this one is, which of the following describes the characteristics of a convertible bond? Okay, and a convertible bond is convertible to what? To stock at the option of the bondholder. The bondholder goes to the company, gives back the bond, probably a little more cash, and they get what? Stock in exchange for that. Okay, so what happens? Bond matures at specified intervals. No. Bond may be exchanged for stock at the discretion of the bondholder. Okay. Okay, good. Bond payable are usually classified on the balance sheet as it is a long-term liability, right? Remember, long-term liabilities are longer than a year. Bonds are usually, what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, whatever. Okay. Okay, good. Use the following to answer these questions. Okay. And so we have this Hanover Corporation issued 70,500 of 8% 5-year bonds for 68,385. Is this a discount bond or a premium bond? Good. It's a discount bond because it issued for less than face, right? Okay. So I take that 70,500. I subtract 68,385, and the difference here is what? $2,150, you say? 15? 2,115? Okay, we got a second on that? Okay, 2,115. That's the discount, isn't it? Okay. Now, this question is asking me what is the interest expense, and interest expense is going to be the cash interest plus the discount amortization, right? So how do I figure out the cash interest? Interesting. I gave you the whole weekend to work chapter 10. You came in here and said you had no questions on chapter 10 at all, and now you can't answer a simple question from chapter 10? I mean, I gave you like 12 of these to work. Okay, times 0.08 then? That's it? It's asking for 1 year, isn't it? It's asking for 1 year. So do I need to do anything else here to get the cash? So the cash interest is how much? $5,640. Why does that? So I just want a confirmation that 70,500 is how much? 5640, you say? Okay, we got a confirmation on that? Okay, good. And then you want to do what? Good, you take the 5,640 plus the amortization of the discount, right? And if we use straight line, we divide that by Really? I gave you a whole chapter of questions to work. I start the class asking if there's any questions about any of those questions. Nobody has any questions, and now you can't work like you're all falling all over this simple little question. Huh? Good. I'm going to divide it by 5. It's a 5-year bond. They're asking me what is the interest expense for year 1, right? So I amortize that over 5 years. Okay. So 2,115 divided by 5 equals 423. Even? Okay. Okay, good. 423. Let me erase those zeros, not help it. Okay, and so that's 423. Good. And I add that, and that gives me 63. So D's the answer. Okay. You got to practice with these guys. Just because you've got 3 hours and the exam is take home is of little consequence if you haven't practiced with these. You're going to burn through those 3 hours like no other, and then you're going to be sitting there stuck like that other guy turning the exam in the last 2 minutes, and you're going to squander an opportunity to get an A. So you need to practice with these and be very fluid with them so you don't get yourself in a scary situation on the exam. That's it? Oh no, here's journal entry questions. Okay, the journal entry to record the issuance of a bond and the Well, that would be a very hard question to answer. Or is it the same facts? Same facts? Oh, okay. So using the same facts, the journal entry to record the issuance of the bond, and they told us that they issued it for how much? 70,500, right? Okay. Now, when you get a question like that, guys, instead of looking at those choices and trying to back in to what the answer is, just do the journal entry. And then it's a piece of cake. So we're going to debit cash 70,500, right? So on a piece of little scratch paper here, we'll just debit cash. How much? 70,500. Good. We're going to credit the what? The bond payable for how much? Oh, wait. What am I doing? I'm messing up. They issued it for what? 68,395? So how much cash am I getting? 68,395. Sorry, guys. 68,395. I'm not thinking here. You see how looking at those answers can prejudice your ability to process the problem? 68,395? Okay. Okay. Huh? 385? Okay, good. Now, what was the face amount of the bond? 70,500. So I have to credit that, don't I? Bond payable. Tell me the number again. 70,500. Okay. And what am I going to do with the difference? So I'm going to debit the discount, right? And the discount was, what was it, for 3,000 what? 115? Okay, good. Okay, so I would advise you do that. When you get a question like that where they kind of give you those journal entries are the devil, aren't they? Because they're saying, come here, I have all you need in life here. And you start to look at those and you think, oh, okay, that must be the answer, right? I even got sucked into that one right there. So you're better off writing the answer, and then when you look at the choices, it's clear that D is the correct answer, right? Okay. Okay, good. How about the first interest payment? Journal entry. Are we going to pay cash? Huh? Yeah. How much cash are we going to pay? How much cash do we pay them? How much cash do we pay? Huh? No. Good. The cash is 5,640, right? That's like the 50,000 in the questions that we went through. Your best friend will never change. So we credit cash 5,640. Good. What's our interest expense? Huh? The interest expense was 6,063, wasn't it? Okay. So we have to debit the interest expense here. $6,063. Okay, what do you want to do with the discount? What do you want to do with this credit? Huh? We're going to credit the discount because we're making it less, aren't we? For what was it, 423? That brings the discount down? Okay, so the answer here is what? C? Debit the interest expense, credit the discount, credit the cash? Okay. What if I asked you, what is the journal entry December 31st, 2018? Same thing. Same journal entry every year for whatever it is, I guess this one was 5 years, whatever. Okay, good. What's the carrying value at the bond of December 31st, 2013? 2017, excuse me. We had the discount. The discount was 2,115, wasn't it, when we debited it right there? Right? You guys just told me to credit the discount, what, 423? Right here? Okay, so if I credited the discount 423, what's the balance in the discount account now? Huh? 1692? Okay, so what's the carrying value of the bond? 1692. What's the carrying value of the bond? No. When I got the bond, I made the journal entry to do what? I debited, where was that journal entry that we wrote up here? I debited bond payable 70,500. Have I done anything else to the bond payable account? So what's the carrying value of the bond? I have bond payable on my balance sheet of 70,500. And then what did you do, Nick? I subtract the discount of 1692. Is that the balance of the discount account? Yeah. 1692. So the carrying value of the bond after that December 31st, 2017, after I've taken the interest expense for 2017 and amortized the discount, carrying value of the bond is how much? 68,808, you say? Did you do those homework questions? Those quiz questions? Okay. Well, he doesn't have to. You do, if you don't know how to answer. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm just saying. I'm trying to make some sense out of the question that I asked you that you didn't do it, and you can still figure this out. But, you know, bottom line, you need to sit there and you need to understand what happened with that lecture, etc. I'm telling you, you're going to get in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean in a hurricane when you're taking that test, when you're sitting there and you can't figure out something that you didn't anticipate just because I don't have an exact question that's just like that one. Don't sit there and think that, you know, lull yourself into false sense of security, that the questions are going to be these same questions or something, and you're just going to write down A, B, C, D. It ain't happening. So these questions have a potential of being a problem for you. Bond questions. The Chapter 11 questions, not so much. I still would go through the practice questions here with it, but those are not nearly as perilous as some of these bond questions are. Okay? All right. Now, I know that I had said no Chapter 13 at the end of class last time, but I have changed my mind, and you should be happy because that reduces the number of bond questions I will give you. And these Chapter 13 questions are actually very simple. But let's first go ahead and let's look at Chapter 13. Of course, it's going to hide from me. Yes. Oh, unless you want me to record this Chapter 13. Oh, I think you have a lecture on 13. Yes, so okay, thank you.